Mr. Kevin.
Hey guys, it's Amber.
And Kristen.
She's on her way. As always, she's got to set us up. So here we are.
Ta-da!
Today's thoughtful episode is going to be how do you handle life's curveballs, which is something we both are dealing with right now. I don't even know if my mic's on, to be honest.
I don't think you are.
No. So let's start that again. Hey, it's Amber.
And Kristen.
So today's episode of our Thoughtful Thursdays is how do you handle life's curveballs, which we both have this week going on. I mean, so it's a perfect opportunity to talk about it. For those that don't know, my husband just had hopefully his final hip surgery. This is his permanent hip that was put in. So 2 years ago, on February the 13th, he was in a horrible wreck, and since then we've been dealing with walking issues and surgeries and just all kinds of stuff. So we are kind of back to square one, but then at the end of the square one that we're back to, there's a light at the end of the tunnel.
Now there's finally a light.
Yes.
It's not so dim in the
It's
future.
not so we're not. We know what our end goal is, which has always been our end goal, but now we're actually moving towards it. But again, it has set us back, and I mean that's a curveball. That's because we had gotten into. My husband is very much a habitual person.
He's stuck in his ways.
Yes, he loves. So once he gets into this habit, that's where we're at. And now we are trying to relearn new habits to get back into.
Baby steps.
Fun times. And with Kristen, I mean, she has taken on an extra individual into her house. So again, because I feel like you kind of like habitual, maybe not habitual, but scheduled things. And so when that throws you off, then
you already know.
Then when that schedule's not there or it changes,
I have to have a schedule.
She
I have to have plans.
Falls off the deep end for just a minute,
and then I just get quiet because I am a plan person and a schedule person. Because if not, nothing gets done with me at all, and it won't get done. I will sit there in the abyss and just sleep life away
and dwell on the changes that was not supposed to happen that happened.
Yeah. And they always throw me off. So when something throws me off, then I become like the biggest bitch you've ever met. And I try not to be, so I get real quiet.
So is that how? Because I mean that's what we're talking about. How you deal with these. So that's how you deal with them. You get quiet. You shut down, or you go to sleep because you just said you go to sleep.
I'll sleep.
I go like head first. Okay, it's changed. Let's rework life real quick, like in 5 minutes.
See, I shut down for a little while, and then I'll move to that. Like I have to shut down, understand it in my own brain, and then process it out.
I can't process it first. I feel like if I try to process it first,
both feet in.
Yes, a whole body. Like we're diving. Yeah, we're diving right into that because if I stop to process it, then I get stuck there. And like you said, nothing gets done. You just you're in a hamster wheel. Yep. I feel like. So if I feel like if I don't just dive in, kind of like in survival mode, like okay,
that's what it feels like.
This has changed. Let's run real quick.
That's how you and I survive opposite, because you are the type that like has to jump in head first, and I'm the type that has to step back.
Yeah,
because I have to reconfigure it in my brain, because I'm the type that has to plan it ahead. Because if not, like I realized my ADHD is so severe as an adult, and the more stress I get under, the worse it gets.
Right.
So I have to like plan out my life. That's why when me and you were talking, I'm always like, we need a schedule. Like,
and I'm
we've got to
always
get on a
like,
schedule.
schedules aren't for me right now.
No, and they're really not for me. But the problem is like today, we're starting how late? But her and I had some talking to do, because text doesn't always fix everything.
No.
But that's the thing. I think, as far as like you and I, even like, yeah, I mean, us handling this situation together was kind of like a spat, but it wasn't a spat. It was two people misunderstanding what the other person was trying to say. And I think that that's why text is like the devil when it comes to people you love, because it's like, I know I'm going to come across as a bitch because I can be one.
Well, and I think too, sometimes of course, it's all in how you interpret things. But if I'm in a mood, then I'm going to interpret.
Interpreting things.
I'm going to look at that as you being in a mood too, or I'm going to read it in my mood, and then I'm going to be like, oh, she's in a mood too. Then let's go.
That's why I told you, I was like, it's not good for us to text right now because I'm in a very bad mood. But I'm the same way, and I think that that makes it hard when you are like that, because I can't rationalize things like that. That's why I have cut off certain relationships in my life, because I have to have people that are understanding to that, because I have to shut down first. Because if I don't shut down and think about it, I am like the type of person that if I feel like you're going low, I'm taking it straight to hell. So I know I have to step back.
And we've talked about that too, because I can be just as petty too sometimes. But
it's fun when we're being petty together, not against each other.
Yeah, it is a lot more fun that way. But I feel like too, like again, I guess it just depends on my mood, or how far I guess I let it go. Because there's sometimes I'm just so tired, and I'm just like, you know what? I don't even care. Yeah, I don't even care. And then there's sometimes I'm like, balls to the wall. Okay, let's fix this right now. We don't have time to wait. I can't let you process yours, because now I'm processing mine, and processing mine means head first against the wall. Like, that's where we go.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's what, it's so unique to watch how people handle situations. Because I used to be the type that, I think that's why I get so quiet, because a lot of people, including in my family that I've cut out of my life, their go-to is, well, Kristen's a hothead. Kristen does this. Kristen does that. No, Kristen actually has grown up, and I'm 35 years old, and I shut down because I know me.
To be able to process that. So you're not a hothead anymore.
And that took some maturing. And I think that we all mature through certain things. And that was something I had to learn in myself, because I used to, like, if you pissed me off, we weren't talking calm.
Yeah.
We were going at it.
It was going to be an aggravating.
But now it's not that I avoid confrontation or avoid the situation. I step back to learn the situation outside of like me being a hothead, because if not,
and that's growth.
But it's hard though when like, and I know I've explained it to you before. I've had to explain it to several people, but because you were like, okay, I know you're pissed at me. You're being quiet. And I was like, I'm not mad at you. I'm mad at a situation. And I can't freaking, like, I know if I text you, it's going to come off horrible. But that's why, like, it's so important for me to have certain people in my life, because it takes a stronger person to be my friend, because I do have to step back. Because even if like plans change, the ice on the road, like I came across bitchy, but I was like, I swear I was not mad at you. Like, it was just the plan change, and like it just threw me off. And that's something I have to like explain to people, and it sucks because.
And I hate when I'm the one, because I'm always the one that changes our plans. Because again, schedules are not my thing right now. I don't know really that I have ever. I like the base of a schedule, but I also need
you like the outline. You don't want the pinpoints there.
I
want the outline.
Like anytime, and you'll see it on my post too. I'll say 4-ish.
You should see her papers.
2-ish. There's always that.
Like, I wish you all could read her papers sometimes.
Yes, it's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
I have, but it works for me.
But that's and like, I wish we had Abigail again today, because that would be something, because she processes it completely different than you and I, because I feel like she's the mature one out of us.
She's always been the calm, the calm,
because she can discuss things so calmly, even if she's pissed or even if something's upset
like
her.
An adult.
Yes, and I'm not. I have not reached the adulthood yet. Okay, But yeah, I mean, I think that's what.
And I'm somewhere in between.
And I'm I'm 10 years younger. I'm allowed to be a
She's
little
just
bit
a
more mature.
baby.
I'm just a baby.
Linda Locke says that hers is alcohol. Her gross code. Hey, I'm right there with you.
Man.
And I said, us at Long Branch, we're going to support that. Of course we are. Tammy Willett says a good girls trip.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's very important when you can have the right people in your life that you can do that kind of
for sure.
Go and do that and reset with. I think that is very
it's important to surround yourself with you don't want to surround yourself with yes men.
Right.
You want to surround yourself with loyal, good people that want the best for you. And that's not necessarily saying that I agree
that they're
going to
encourage you, but they're also going to say, maybe you should probably look at it a different way, which is Lisa next. She said a quiet dinner or evening out with my besties in a judgment-free zone. That is the most important, is to find that group of judgment-free.
TikTok. We listen, but we don't judge.
Yeah, we listen, but we don't judge.
I'm telling you, that was something that was hard for me as an adult to find that group of friends, because it is very hard to find genuine people that don't want to spread your entire business.
Yeah, and it's different, because like she said, a judge-free zone. You can voice your differences of opinions without it being judgy.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And that is not only growth as an adult, but even in females, because females can be very catty sometimes.
I'm sorry, but
very catty.
Why I always had more men friends than girlfriends, because women are bitches.
Yeah.
But then once you grow up, I never grew. But once you mature and stuff, you find those people that fit into your life.
Right.
And that, I think,
falls in those categories.
Yeah,
because like I said, you can voice a difference of opinion or say something, to somebody without being judgmental about it, and even if it does come across bitchy, you're okay with that.
Because you know who that person is.
Yeah, you're in that comfort with that person.
If I said I like the color purple, and she was like, well, I don't fucking like purple. Purple's hideous, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm still going to like purple.
I'm still going to put purple on your logo.
Yeah. I like glitter. You know how long she has bitched at me over these things here?
How did I know what you were going to point at?
Yeah.
Just so you know, our new sign has glitter.
For probably 2 weeks straight.
And I'm doing glitter bottles for her.
I'm cleaning up glitter everywhere. I just need you to know that. And I'm like, I love glitter. Let's sprinkle more. And she's like, I freaking hate you.
And now I'm putting glitter on bottles for her.
Tommy House says meditation and a quiet place to read the Bible and pray, clear your mind and listen up. And that is something that I have recently started teaching myself, is meditation, because that has honestly helped a lot, especially at night with sleeping. It has helped me tremendously.
If you can meditate, I don't believe you're ADHD. You might be ADD.
I don't really have ADHD. ADD is probably more.
If I tried to meditate,
and I'm probably borderline with it, really.
If I tried to meditate, I'm literally going to be like squirrel. I'm going to end up
you
cleaning
have to
and doing
really
something.
And that's why I only do it at night.
There ain't no way I could.
That's why I only do it at night, because I like complete silence when I go to sleep at night.
Like a fan.
So I like a fan, but not no TV or any noises like that. My husband, on the other hand, loves to freaking have the TV on 95.
Remote. That was so funny.
So, and he does. He hides the remote from me or snatches it up. He will literally be asleep.
He's sitting there asleep in the chair, and you went to grab it, and he was like,
he knows my movements. So I have literally had to learn that part of meditating, and I looked it up online. I've studied it with different things that I've seen online to train my brain to just focus on my breathing when I lay down to go to sleep. And that is I try. Now there are sometimes, because I do ask him still, please turn it down just a little bit. Whereas before I'm like, okay, we're turning this TV off completely. Otherwise I'm not getting any sleep and nobody's going to be happy.
Yeah.
But now we've kind of compromised, and he turns it down, and then I will just focus on my breathing.
Yeah.
And that's helped a lot. So meditating, yes, Now, I have not got to the point to where I can do it during the day because it literally makes me go to sleep. And I don't know if that is because I started off doing it at night or what the case may be. But anyway, if I get still and quiet and I'm focusing on my breathing, I go to sleep.
Not I. If I focus on my breathing, I literally would probably be up cleaning.
That's
I'm
not
not
the
even
point.
joking.
Far from the point.
Look, I would be sitting there like, I need a dust. That would be me.
Let's see. So, anybody else out there got any ways of how? Oh, this has been filtered. That's why I can't see the rest of them. Of how you handle when life throws you a curveball because it happens. It's out there.
And it's a
It
lot lately.
definitely happens.
Which I mean, you and I have discussed, like, my life has just been constant change, constant move, constant just everything. And I just sit there like, okay, like I try to take it in stride, but I'm not good at strides.
I think it may be life trying to tell you you don't have to be in control and have that scheduled, like let go of that schedule and
I try.
fly by the seat of your pants.
I can sometimes. Like if I'm on vacation or if I'm out
if
already.
you know about it ahead of time.
Well, no, like if I'm on vacation or something, I can fly. I can do whatever. If I am, if you and I were like out shopping or something and our plans changed and we decided to go do something completely different, that would be fine. Because I'm already in the middle of my plan.
I was, like I said, I like to have a schedule going. Did I always follow that schedule? Because I mean, I did have a 8:30 to 5 o'clock job, so of course I had to have schedules in there. My kids were at stuff, so I had to, be there, schedule on time with them. But mine really changed when me and Jimmy got together because he is far from a scheduled person as they come.
Yeah, I can tell.
I mean, far from it. And if he tells you, okay, I'm going to do this at this time on this date, no, he's not. It's not.
Not going to happen.
No. And he will change it 10, 15 more times. And I had to learn to adjust to that because I can adjust.
Yeah.
And he cannot. Like, he is set in his way. Like I said, he's a habitual creature.
That's probably why you get me so much and don't get too pissy with me because you know why I am the. You're like, I'm married to that.
Yeah,
I know what it's like.
I get it.
I mean, I do try, and I think that's why I do what I do because I've always been known as the hothead. I've always been known as the person that would just get in your face and go at it with you, and I did not want to be like that no more because.
It's draining. It's draining on you.
But I also don't like confrontation. Like, I know a lot of people are like, oh, she's not but drama. No, I stand up for what I think is wrong, but I don't ever start it.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't go out of my way to start shit with anybody because I don't like confrontation. And I mean, I will mend a relationship quicker than I'll break one because I don't like that tussle. I don't like the confrontation. And if I've looked at you and I like highlight, like I've said, you and I go like sisters I never had. That's why I know when I need to fall back. Like my boundary. Like, okay, I have to shut down because if I don't, I'm going to come across a certain way.
Yeah, it's gonna get bad.
And you don't want to be like that, especially with people you love and care about. And I know that. And it's kind of like I know what I want to say, but I know it's going to come across wrong because I'm already in that mood.
Yeah.
Yes.
Getting the words out, finding the right words that doesn't seem.
Yep, because
too out of control.
And that's why when I was texting you back earlier, I was just like, oh God, we're going to talk face to face because if not, this is going to turn bad. And I knew that because I was like, I'm being a bitch because I felt like you were being one, but I knew it was the mood I was in that set me up like that. And I was like, Jesus Christ, I know.
Just a little backstory here because again, hello, I jump in, we fix it now and talk now and get things straightened now. And she's like,
I fall
back away. And, so I pushed and she was very short. And I was like, oh, no, we're not going to get short.
I was like, okay. And she's like, nope. And I was like, shit.
Like, you already know. Yes, I do know. Yes, I do.
Well, and that's the thing. But you have to be grown enough to understand that, like, friendships aren't perfect. Relationships aren't perfect. Nobody's perfect. and you have to learn that person to know, like,
well, and
they're
it
not
is. You
being.
do have to learn that person,
'Cause, like,
especially if it's somebody that you're close to.
Well,
You
and, like,
know,
I knew that you weren't trying to be hateful, but I was already in a bad mood, so I was like, "Fuck." Like,
everything's gonna
I'm
be
in a
hateful.
bad mood now, so I don't care. I told her, I said, "You could have told me you love me to the moon and back, and I would have been like, I don't you only love me to the moon?"
Yeah, I hate the
Like,
moon. Why did you
why
pick the
why the
moon?
moon? But I feel like that's, like, probably a female thing too, because, I mean, like I said, it's that time of the month. But even just outside of that, like, I
That's how
think
you cope with things.
I cannot.
That's how you cope, and that's what we're talking about
I'm
is
not,
how you cope.
and that's a personal thing for me too, because a lot of people don't realize that. I have a lot of people still that I will not speak to because they will
Push those
come at
buttons.
me, and they'll come at me, and they'll come at me, and, like, you knew to give me a little bit of time to cool off. And and when I talked to you, I was like, it wasn't you. It was like I have 20 things going on, and then this situation, and I was just like, I can't do
Enough.
it. I cannot, like, I have to back away. And that's why, but it's because I'm human. I think um, where you jump in and I fall back, it kind of works because we both know each other's boundaries enough, because I knew you needed some form of an answer, but I also knew I needed my time.
Yeah, to get it straight in your
So,
head before you gave me that
yeah,
answer.
because I'm telling you, I've told her 1,000 times, and I've been very blunt about it. If you go low, I'm taking it straight to hell, and I can't help it. Just if you know I'm upset with
Petty
you,
Betty in her.
well, if you know I'm upset with you, like, just stay away. just stay away.
That's the Petty Betty in her.
But at least I know it about myself. Like, I'm not, delusional to the fact that I am like that. Like,
and I think as adults now, especially, it is something that is right here. It is something that you have to learn about yourself before you can ever expect somebody else to learn that about you.
Oh yeah. Well,
and I think that's where you found growth,
Mhm.
and me too, because we're both very forward with, okay, listen, this is how I cope. Well, this is how I cope. And I mean, I think that's just an adult, because you think about it, when we were teenagers, those were not conversations
Absolutely
that
not.
were to be had
No.
ever. And it's just like some of the ones on here have said, I know where my boundary is with it.
Mhm.
So I'll either go out and have a few drinks, or I'll call up the girls and say, hey, I need a dinner.
Yep.
I need some laughs. Let's go. Or like Tommy said, I just need a quiet place to pray and meditate and gather my thoughts. And I think those are all good things to learn to get in the habit of, especially in your adulthood.
Well, and it shows how we all cope differently. Because I think that it's
Well, and some people can't cope at all with it.
Tiffany Rayleigh put Petty Betty as my new favorite nickname. But I think because we all do cope differently. So who am I to tell you how to cope or to judge you for the way you cope?
Right.
Because we all are going to take things differently. And I think that's important, because that was something too when I was younger.
And I think you learn to who you can mesh with that way
Yes.
too.
And that takes growth, because like, I was real forward with you with, when we hadn't been friends very long, and I was like, I'm going through something, I shut down. Like, we were really open with each other about that. And Abigail and I, we just spooned in the bed together and talked about it.
And I think Abigail kind of shuts down, because she told me, she's like, I just kind of disappear.
Yep.
And they both know I'm not okay with that. Like, because again, head first, there I go, right smack into the wall.
It kind of works though, because, like, even if she has to back away, she can answer things maturely enough. Like, I went to her yesterday and I was like, I can't handle this. I've got too much going on. You deal with it. And it wasn't because it was you. It was because
everything
in that moment, I couldn't handle it.
You were going to explode.
Yeah. And I was like, I just want to go enjoy shopping with my daughter, going and getting her dress for her formal. I don't want to deal. And so, I mean, but that is where I think Abigail is our medium. Like, she's the medium for us.
She's a carrot.
Yeah, she's our carrot because I'm one end of the spectrum, she's the other end of the spectrum, and Abigail's like skirt.
Right in the middle. That works.
So it does. And
but like I said, I mean, you do, and you will have those people because I know how far I can take things, and I know that I can be very pushy and very aggressive.
You pushy?
Feel aggressiveness sometimes, but I also know
you're coming from a genuine place.
What people that I can feel comfortable enough doing that with. You know, because there are some people out there that I have tried to be that way with, and they wasn't able to understand that about me. In return, that made me not able to understand where they were coming from because
it's a two-way street.
I try to understand. You know, I try to understand that other people cope differently. You know, so if I come to you and I'm like, okay, this is me, let's meet in the middle somewhere, but you can't meet me in the middle, then obviously we can't.
We're not going to mesh.
Yeah.
And I think
we're only going to be acquaintances at that point, and I can smile and go on my way.
Well, and I think that it is, I see this with Aubrey a lot in school and stuff. You have your friends, and then you have your acquaintances, but then you also have the people that they will always be more than friends, because that's, to me, that's your people. Because I can be a friend with anybody. I'm just not going to share my personal life with you.
Right.
But and I think that's where you're like, I smile and go on. Like, I can be friendly with anybody. And I mean, I am.
Well, it's like somebody had said to me one time, and I have just like ran with this ever since she had said that to me. She had said, you know, she had a conversation with somebody, and they had said, well, I know you're a nice person and you will understand. And she said, whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm a good person. I'm not nice. There's a difference. And there is a difference. Yes. And there are some people that need to be nice and good. And I understand that. That's fine. That's your prerogative. You know, again, that's how you deal with things.
Yep.
Not everybody is going to deal with things that way. I'm for one, I'm not that. You know, I can be nice to you. Yes. I'm a good person 100% all the time. I can also not be nice to you. I mean, it you know, it just falls in there. But I'm still a good person. It still doesn't make me a bad person.
Yep. Well, and I think too, like when I was younger, I think the reason I learned to step back is because I would lose good friends. Because if you came at me sideways, I'm coming at you.
Right.
Or
it goes back.
And I hate, somebody said this about me years ago, and it's just stuck. Now people say it all the time. They're like, unless somebody agrees with you, you don't like them, you don't get along with them. And I was like, whoa, no, you do not have to agree with me. And you can set me straight, but it's how you do it.
Right.
If you're disrespectful, or you talk down to me, or if I'm in a mood and you come at me sideways, then yes. But I'm also going to think about what you said too, because I'm not ignorant.
Right. Well, and I think that comes with growth. And I think a lot of people sometimes see, or, you know, that's how maybe they portray when they are going into something like that. Maybe that's how they cope. You know, they just, because there is people out there like that. If you don't agree with them and you don't feel the way that they feel, then they will go completely sideways on you.
Well, and I love a good debate.
About anything. Debate. I will not debate.
I love a good debate with people, and I'm not even just talking political. I'm just talking about anything in general, because I like to have the like back and forth and see other people's opinions, and then grow from that.
If you're an adult about it. If you can't be an adult about it, I want no part of a debate.
I do not know how to say her last name.
And that is my problem too. Brittany Moran. That's my stepdaughter.
That's why I didn't want to say it wrong. I knew she
comes with growth and age. Yes, absolutely. You do, because younger me, again, I still went head first, and I did not see anybody else's.
I went head first too, but I seen red when I did it.
Well, and that was me. Like, I still jump head first, but now I'm kind of like, okay, I'm in here, but now I can see all around me of what's going on. Before I did not. I just,
and that's
again, hit the wall.
I think that's when I get quiet and stuff, because I think people think like I'm ignoring them or something like that, but I'm literally digesting what's going on. And it's not that it takes me that long, or anything, I know, like I have severe anxiety. So when I get upset, my anxiety goes up, and then I'm also like severely depressed. So my depression takes over, and I'm just like, son of a bitch.
And then
like
your
I'm stuck in a whirlwind.
ADHD like kicks in, so it's like overdrive with
So
everything.
I just have to get quiet, and I know that now because before.
Then you need to learn to meditate. I'm telling you.
But before, I don't think I could. I think I'd end up cleaning. Cleaning is like relaxing to me, so I think that's why I would end up cleaning. Good.
But I swear, if you talk to Tommy about it, maybe he can give you like suggestions on how to. Or there's people like I follow on TikTok or Instagram that's where I've learned. Now I cannot do it more than at night. Of course, it puts me off to sleep, so I really don't know the time frame. I was going to say I can't do it more for like 30 minutes. During the day, it would probably be the same because literally it puts me off to sleep.
Yeah.
So I think that maybe that would help you calm down. Yoga. We need to do yoga.
I ain't crawling between your legs.
No, that's not yoga. That's not yoga. Yoga's stretching.
I'm teasing. Y'all have to watch our TikTok. It was quite funny. No, well, like when I was younger, I kid you not, and I've always been really petite. I would stand up to a grown man.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I still have no problem sometimes.
I'll still do it, but at least now it'll be for a reason, not just because you looked at me sideways.
Yeah. You're not ready to jump.
No. Because I was always known as that friend that like would stand up for you, and I'm like, but I'll get my ass kicked. So I hope to God y'all have my back because I'm tiny compared to everybody else.
So I do have a question. Is Tiffany still watching? Is she still watching? We're still showing her on here.
Oh, Jimmy Heller put just be chilled like me.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
The least chilled person.
I was ready to say, can you imagine? Her and I are going to start acting like you, Jimmy. Do you think you could handle it?
No, he could not. Not in 100 years. He could not. And Brittany can tell you because she will say all the time, "I am my father's daughter," and I'm like, God. And his son is just like him too. But so Tiffany, if you're still on here, because I know you have a lot going on too right now currently. How are you coping? Like, what is some of the things that you're doing to help get by with this stuff that's going on?
Yeah, because you just had to have a double mastectomy and all kinds of life-changing stuff, which to me,
that's like,
I couldn't even imagine.
Like, kudos to you.
So I say I couldn't even imagine.
Kudos to you.
Because this does not compare. But I had a scare when I was 17. I had a tumor removed off my breast. Thank God it was benign. But I was 17. And so I always tell everybody, like, that's why when it comes to breast cancer and stuff, I'm there because I'm at such a high risk now. And just seeing people go through that breaks my heart.
Because I know it kills me.
I mean, at 17, my life stopped for about 3 months because Jimmy put on, I'd choke you both. I bet you I'd climb you like a spider monkey and she'd get you. We would take you down. Don't mess with us.
You're a little crippled right now too, so it'd be a lot easier.
I'll jack your truck up and steal your rims.
I'll just slash your tires on your wheelchair. I don't care.
Not even on the truck.
No. He ain't even getting to the truck.
So I can go ahead and steal the rims then, right? Jimmy put, I had a garbage truck removed off my ass.
Yeah, literally.
Well,
literally.
it's
a different one.
Sometimes I feel like I've been hit by one, but at least I don't know what that feels like.
I think that, again, and you know what? Even with everything that he's gone through, it's changed him too. Like, he, believe it or not, he is a lot calmer these days.
I think it changed him for the good.
Yeah, he is a lot calmer these days. But again,
shit. Justin put, I got your back, Yang, or Ying. Sorry.
So, but again, like, he is very non-scheduled. And he feels like that you have to run on his time a lot. And so, I mean, that's something that I try to remind him constantly is not everybody is on Jimmy time.
Well, and I mean, I don't know if you get like this, but if something changes or my anxiety picks up or something like that, like I'll get to where I can't breathe. Like, so I'm really susceptible to like panic attacks.
Yeah, panic attacks.
Yeah. And so, like my heart will be racing and stuff. And that is when I can't back down. That's when I don't walk away.
Now, see, I understand that, but that's where I'm opposite. because that is where
That's when you shut down.
Yes, that's when I shut
See,
down
that's when I
because
get going.
I actually experienced my first panic attack. I can't say my first one, but the first one that I knew that was
That's what it was.
Yeah, that was what's happening was when right after my dad had passed, and I had gone back to work, and everything was just like I felt like on my head, in my face, in my ears, like just right here constantly. And I couldn't breathe. Like, I mean, I went into a full blown panic attack and I had to step away and just completely shut down to breathe through it to enable, to come out of it.
And that is when, like I need to step back the most, but that's when I'm the hothead, like the most hot.
That's when you don't. That's when you don't step back.
If something has wound me up that much, it's something serious. And I won't take it out on other people. I will take it out on that person.
Well, see, I guess I know that sometimes maybe I have already been wound up, and then whatever that last little straw on the camel's back, so to say, hits. I guess that's when that's when I know I've got to shut down and assess everything, because if I can't breathe, then ain't nothing gonna happen.
Well, and I don't know what your panic attacks feel like, because I know it's different for everybody, but I will literally feel like something is on my chest. And the harder I try to breathe, the like more closed my lungs feel.
That's why I have to shut it, because I mean, literally, I have to close my eyes and just breathe.
Yep. And
just
I'll have
focus on my breathing.
I've had to lay on my back before and put my arms over my head in the middle of one of my jobs because I had so much going on, and I didn't need to go to work that day. And I did, and I was able to be off. There was something going on. I was able to be off, and I had to literally lay down in the middle of my floor and just breathe because I could not breathe. Oh, she was saying it was in her DNA.
Oh, yeah, definitely. It is definitely. And you're right, Brittany. He is not chill. By no means is he chill.
No. But he did get a ladybug out of my hair a while ago. So appreciate that. And I was like, that. I'm sure that's bad luck because.
No, I think ladybugs are good luck.
I hope so.
I really think so. Well, and it's like they say, if a bird shits on you, that's good luck. I mean, not that I
one time in Louisville, I'll have to show you the picture of my. So I had a Dodge Charger at the time, but I'll have to show you a picture. I was at bartending class, and I was in class, like getting my bartender certification or whatever. And I come out, and I had parked on the side. It was in Louisville. There was so much bird shit on my car.
Was you under like a wire?
No, I had just parked on the street where you had to park, and there was so much on my car. You couldn't see in it, out it, nothing. So I drove to the Walgreens. Like, we wiped it off enough to where I could see to drive to the Walgreens to pour stuff on my windows to wipe them off, because I couldn't even get it to a car wash. It was so bad.
We were on
so that must be bad luck.
We were on a work trip, and we were in line. I think we were at.
Jimmy said, "Baby, tell Brittany she quit lying on him."
I will not.
Or quit blaming him.
She's 100% accurate. So there's that.
I know, but if she's accurate.
We were on a work trip, and I can't remember if we were at Disney or if we were wherever we were at. But anyway, me and the girl that worked with me, we're sitting in line. We were outside, and they had like little tiki things up to where we could get our drinks. And we were standing there waiting to get our drink, and a bird literally shit all down the side of her. I mean, her head, her face, like all down her shoulder.
Hey, Caleb shit all over me.
And I don't think that's the same. I mean, that's pretty gross too, but I don't think human babies doing that is the same as birds. But anyway, she freaked out. She freaked out, and she was like, I mean, just froze. And I was like, I think it's good luck. Like, I think you're going to have good luck. And she was like, just
you're
get it off
like bird shit the rest of the day, but it's good luck.
It's good luck.
Oh my gosh. No, when Caleb was born and he had to go to the NICU, they put a sugar IV in his head. And so it gave him diarrhea. Well, when they finally brought him back to me out of the NICU, I was changing his butt, and I lifted his feet up to put the diaper under him.
I think all babies. Yes.
I've never seen projectile crap like that. Ever. It was all over me, the bed, their computer behind me, the wall. Ugh. And I called the nurse and I said, "Can I please get some new sheets?" She walks in there and she goes, "We need a lot more than sheets."
I'd say.
And I was like, But what was I supposed to do? Because I'm sitting here like just had a C-section, not allowed to get out of the bed because I was septic, and I was like covered in crap.
Oh God.
Um,
Yeah, I don't think that's the same as birds.
Brittany said Jimmy Hellard C, and then Jimmy Hellard said if a bird shits on you, then you take a shower bath.
Riri.
No.
Well, we were not able to get right into the shower at that point. We were, like I said, we were literally on a work trip,
Well, and
and we were
they had to make wipes for that stuff these days.
we had to we couldn't even. I think we ended up asking the place that we were at for like
Walk
wet
up to
paper
a character and
towels
wipe them,
just rub on them like this, rub it off,
rub
of
on them a
them.
little bit.
But yes, I do think ladybugs are good luck, and apparently so is a bird crapping
Justin
on
said
you.
you could see the outline when I got up out of the bed.
See,
That
that's
was a lot of
bad.
crap.
Yeah.
But it
That
was
was bad.
funny. It was so funny. And then I'm sitting here like, they come in right after it happened, and they were wanting to do our Bella baby pictures.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Not right
can
now.
I get a shower first?
It's not happening.
Jimmy said, baby, I got poop.
Oh my God. Well, it's a good thing that we're almost done.
That's her baby.
Literally my grown baby. Yes.
Grown baby.
I said I'd tease, but it's the truth. I'm his support human. Like even when they took him back for like prepping for his surgery and stuff. You know, they take him back first. They get him prepped, and then they'll come and get the family.
Mhm.
Normally, that's how it happens. I understand that. He does not understand
You have to be
that.
with him all the time until he's put under.
Yes. So they came back there. They took him back. He was back there maybe 5 minutes before the nurse, and I knew they did
They
not
didn't have
have
time.
time to
Yeah.
do everything they needed to do. So she came out and got me, and she was like, "You can come back with him now. He's asking for you." And I was like, "Are you all ready for him?" And she said, "We haven't even started." No. So get back there, and it was because honestly, I mean, he was fine with him working on him and stuff. He just wanted me back there. I'm his support human for real.
Well, and I've always, like, even when I had to go through things with Caleb, because he's the only, like, I guess my C-section is really the most severe surgery I've ever had. But I was so out of it that I almost don't even remember Justin being in there. But I remember, I will never forget this nurse. It was this big black woman, and I loved her. Like, I don't know her name because I was so groggy and just out of it. But I was 206 pounds, and she was moving me from my bed to the table.
Mhm.
And I was like, let me help you. And she goes, oh, honey, and just picked me up and moved
Like
me.
it was nothing.
And
yeah.
And like sat there and like rubbed my arm the whole time they were like getting everything ready and
Mhm.
talked to me and told me what was going to happen. And because, you know, Justin couldn't be in there while they were doing all that. And I'm just sitting there, you know, they had given me morphine, fentanyl, Dilaudid. I was out of it. And plus I had, they gave me Phenagrin because that's how they knew I went septic, because I started throwing up. And my fever went to 106 point something. It was ridiculous. My blood pressure was 80 over 40, 80 over 6. It was low. And so, but that nurse, if it would not have been for her, I don't know how I would have gotten through that. I don't
guess
have a
that's
clue.
where I consider myself very lucky in situation because I know me. I don't deal with pain at all. Like I cannot deal with pain. I don't deal very well with being sick, or I really. I mean, at the
shut down.
sound, at the sound of I don't know how I'm going to word this without making myself, but any kind of uncomfort at all with me, I know that I go like from 0 to 10 in like 2 seconds, you know,
Yeah.
because again, I'm very lucky that because with my labor with Autumn, when I went into labor with her, I was literally from start to finish in labor for an hour and a half. And I mean, with Dylan, it was probably just as quick. Like, I mean, I don't have time to. I will tell you how my pain level is. The very first time that I ever had any kind of severe pain, I had kidney stones in high school.
That's fun.
Horrible. So I had drove myself because at the time I didn't know what was going on with me. So I drove myself from school to my doctor's office. By the time I got to my doctor's office, the sickness had already set in, and I was in so much pain that I couldn't even make it in to his office. And there was some woman that had come out and helped me. My doctor had got me over to the hospital and had called my parents because of course they had to come. When we got into the hospital, they were arguing with my mom about giving me a private room, something with the insurance. So I literally crawled down in the floor and was
You told me
rolling
about this.
back and forth in the floor. I mean, there was a janitor that came by and asked my dad if I was having a seizure, if I was okay, if he needed help pick me up, or hold me down or anything. My dad was like, "Yeah, she's all right. She'll be all right." They scooped me up and put me in a room real quick, like. So, like I
See,
said, I don't. When it comes to situations like that, I probably do overreact.
probably.
But well, yeah, okay, so I do.
I see. I have such a high tolerance to pain. So I think when I started blacking out and stuff, and I the woman that was, I don't know what her, it's an anesthesiologist, but the one that pushes your medicine when you're in your C-section.
Mm.
There's somebody else in there with you. Uh, I know that somebody else had to come in there when they started pushing the fentanyl, but I don't remember who it was because I had my eyes shut. And I remember they just kept rubbing my arm and asking if I was okay. And but then they had filled me up with gas to repair my like my whatever was tore up on the inside. And I asked Justin, I said, "Will you please rub my shoulder? It feels like it's about to break." Like I felt like somebody was breaking my collarbone. And he touched it, and I thought he shattered my collarbone. Like they had put so much gas in my stomach that it was. And
Everywhere.
and then I went to tell her because she said, "Well, honey, where are you hurting?" Because I'm like wincing, like in pain, and there, I guess she was trying to make sure I couldn't feel what they were doing.
See,
I don't
mean,
remember
that
none of that.
is like so much pain for you. But you could literally pinch me right now and I would fall out on the floor because that is my pain tolerance.
Yeah, mine is extremely high.
Jimmy said that he had asked for me before he even went through the door, and she said we've not even made it to the room yet. Yeah, no kidding. I get that. I am very lucky I have you. Yes.
Well, and that's where you and I are 1,000%, because I do have an extremely high pain tolerance. Like I blacked my own eye. Do you remember that?
I remember that.
Everybody thought I was being abused. It was hilarious.
But no, she hit herself.
No, I was outside doing yard work at like 12 o'clock at night, and I was working with the construction light, and I was clipping these roots out of the ground. And I punched myself in the face.
And see, that was where
I busted
like,
my eye
me,
open and everything.
I wouldn't have even attempted it. I would have been like, "No, it's late. It's dark. I don't have the right stuff to do it. No, I'm not."
I had the right stuff. I just slipped, but I busted myself with my knuckle. And
if it's daylight, no, you don't have the. If it's, nighttime.
I have the construction light, so it's bright. This could be
in your eyes, but causing you to punch yourself in the face.
I guess that probably was what it was. But that was funny because I texted Justin. I was like, "I need a Band-Aid and whiskey." Well, I meant my dog because his name's Whiskey. And because I was outside by myself, we live in the middle of the country. Yeah. Like, I don't want to be out there by myself, like in case Cowdy, whatever. He's a big dog. Like, I wanted him with me. And Justin, like, come out there with a Band-Aid, and he goes, "Whiskey?
What kind do you want?"
And I was like, I know, we got quite a bit at our house. But I was like, "The dog?" And he goes, "What?" And I said, "I don't want to be out here by myself," but I had just punched myself in the face. So he's thinking like I'm that mad that I just want to drink. And I'm like, it wouldn't be whiskey anyway. I don't like whiskey. And so, but yeah, and I still have a scar from that, which I'm not very happy about. I was putting on makeup like a few months back, and I was like, I cracked open my cheek. Who does that? And then I was at this house that these detectives showed up, and I answered the door, and come find out they were like at the wrong place or something. I don't remember, but they made the person's house I was at. They made her have me come back outside to tell them what happened.
Yeah.
And he said, I said, "Well, you got to promise not to laugh." And these three detectives like busted out belly laughing at me, and I was like, he said, "Well, she told us that's what happened, but he said we just wanted to make sure that you weren't like
actually
being abused." Yes. And I was like, I abused myself.
It happened. I did it to
myself. I beat myself up.
But the whole moral of the story is
cope.
How you
cope. How you cope.
Yeah.
And be open about it. There's nothing to be ashamed of how you cope with things.
No, you don't have to be embarrassed. You don't have to be ashamed.
You can be a big mouth like her. You can get shut down like me.
But let that be known, especially to the ones closest to you. Let it be known.
Well, because honestly, had you not known prior to now that that's how I cope, you would have just thought I was ignoring you. Mm-hmm. Like, not that I did.
And I'd have probably been knocking on your door at your house, and like, "What the hell's your problem?"
Yeah. And I would have been like, "I just needed time. I just need a quiet time." But it's important if you build relationships with people to learn that person, because her and I, it wasn't even a big deal,
Mm-mm.
but it was something that would have ruined a friendship had we not been open about it. Because that is the type of stuff.
It's very important to be open,
Very.
especially with the ones that you're close to. Like, Lisa had said that she finds her besties and she goes out to lunch with, or dinner, or whatever. That to me is very important, to have that friendship with somebody that that is how you cope, and that is how you reset things. And I just think that's very important. It's a very important thing to do.
Well, and being open with the people you're around too.
So they understand also.
And it can help you.
Yeah.
Because I know my biggest thing when I do shut down is I don't want to lose friendships. That's why I shut down. And that could have very well been a possibility with several people that I love and care about.
Jimmy says, let it roll off your shoulder. Best way to cope. Yeah. You can let it roll off your shoulder. Yes.
Do you let it roll off your shoulder,
Absolutely
Jimmy Keller?
not. Absolutely not.
Or do you make them roll off their shoulder when they piss you off?
That's exactly what happened.
I'm just saying.
I
do want you in my corner though, if we swing.
He has calmed down a whole lot. According to him, anyway. He's calmed down.
I mean, and I think knowing yourself. Because I think, especially when I started like growing and maturing towards who I am now, that is something I had to learn. Because I honestly, I would have people be like, "You're a chicken. You won't confront me. You won't blah 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 blah." And I'm like, I am not scared of you. I can promise you that. I have stood.
But is it worth your time? A lot of times,
but I just shut down.
Or worth your peace of mind too. Because sometimes it's not.
But then that's kind of how
before I would do that. Then I would like Linda said. She goes and has drinks, and there is. I mean, she put a laughing face, but there is legitly people that's how they cope. They will go and have a couple of drinks. And I mean, that's very relaxing too.
I mean, Monday night was fun for me.
Yeah. I mean, that's very relaxing
to
be able to let loose.
Well, and I mean, I think it's important to be able to do that. And I think it's important to know who you are because, like I said, that telling me I'm scared or something, that'll get me to stand up. That'll get me to, because fear don't really cross me, especially when I'm in that point. And that is when I get worried because
and I promise you now, 10 years from now, what are you 10 years behind me? 10 years. So 10 years from now, you will even let that go. It will get to that point to where you're like, you want to say I'm scared of you, whatever. Say it.
And now I'm like, I try not to, especially if that person has no weight in my life. Now, if you're going around
categories, remember I told you, put them in categories.
If you are somebody that I have held up to a higher standard that I looked up to or like went to for advice or whatever, and you say that about me, then we can have problems because I will never cower to somebody, but I also don't want to cause problems where there shouldn't be any.
Right. And I get that too.
That's my happy little medium there.
And everybody's got their happy little medium. Everybody's got their coping mechanism that they deal with. So, we want to hear from you. How do you cope with stuff? Maybe you've got some better ideals or something that can help somebody along the way. Drop them in our comments and let us know.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
and if there's different ways that you know of,
or people to reach out to that could help with situations like that.
Because that's how people grow. That's how you grow. You can't grow unless you open up a line of communication.
Exactly. So, meanwhile, follow us on all of our social media sites, YouTube, Instagram, and Spotify, Spreaker, all Long Branch Talks. Facebook is Long Branch Talks. TikTok is
Amber.Kristen.
Yeah, I never know what that is.
And we need to change that.
Yeah, because I never know what it is too.
Yeah, we need to just change that to Long Branch Talks. I think it made us wait for so long
before we could do it
before we could.
But anyway, follow, like, share, and tune in tomorrow for our regular podcast. Thanks, guys.
We'll see y'all later. Now I got to walk over here and get this shit off.
In 5, 4, 10.